Welcome. You've splash landed into this Prosecco-laden podcast, straight into the woo-woo pool with the crew of Ohm-g. We're just a simple group of tragically imperfect and highly empathic BFFs, exploring a wide range of atypical topics with humor, grace, and curiosity. This is Ohm-g. Welcome. Today we are exploring old beliefs versus new beliefs, and how the heavy stuff that once resonated no longer does for many of us. You're here with the crew of
Ohm-g, the podcast.
This is Camille.
This is Lynn.
This is Brenda.
And this is Chandra. Welcome back.
Welcome, welcome, friends. We were just having a conversation downstairs before we came up to the recording studio
Bum, bum.
about what we were going to talk about today, because sometimes that's how it works.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we don't know. We show up and we start talking about something and we're like, oh, that'd be great. Let's talk about that. So who wants to kick off this conversation?
Well, why don't we start with examples of things that we once held firm in our heart that no longer really resonate? I can go. This one is probably oversimplified, but growing up, as many of us did, I always firmly believed there was a heaven and a hell. And now I know in my heart and my mind, not really.
Hell is created.
Absolutely. And some people think it's where we are on earth right now.
Some people do. And for some people, it is. Like if you think about people in the war zones, it is hell for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or they create it by the choices that they make that creates a hell in their life.
Or they're locked in their own mentality and unable to get out of certain thought loops and things, and they create their own suffering.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was really interesting what you were talking about, Chandra, before we came up here about the different experiences that you've had with past life regressions or QHHT or whatever, and seeing those lifetimes. Can you talk about that? Because I think that's really interesting. And I also wonder if that's where some of your frustration comes through or comes from, because you know that you know more, but it's like, I can't access it right now. Why not?
Right.
And it's so scary.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And I firmly believe, this is one of the beliefs that I have that hasn't changed, that when we do QHHT or any of those kind of past life regression, healing modalities, that the life that you go to is what you need to know in that moment or in that particular phase of your life. And I've done probably 3 QHHT sessions and several past life regression meditations. And of the 4 lifetimes I've been shown, 2 of them were I was a powerful being. My gifts came very easily. My purpose was very clear. It was very A, B, C, D, cut and dried. There was no question. And then the other 2 lifetimes that I've shown were very much about abandonment and being alone and having to figure things out for yourself, just having to figure it all out with no help, and doing that and being successful at it. But just like we were talking about before, the suffering that comes along with that. And the pattern that I've started seeing here lately is this lifetime is very middle of that road. And the pattern that I've noticed is that in this lifetime, the more I learn, the more acutely aware I become of exactly how much there still is that I don't know. It feels like if you know a yard's worth, then you feel like there's a mile's worth that I don't know. But when you feel like you've expanded or become aware of 100 miles worth of information, then there's 10 million miles of stuff out there that you are now aware of, but that is not knowledge to you. Mm-hmm. And just being mindful in the moment of I don't know if this is the right word, but the humbleness that comes with, for as much as you're aware that there's this much more that there's still to learn. So that's just the pattern that it's kind of been in the background, but I've become more aware of it here in recent months.
I think when you're walking on this path and you're having experiences or spiritual experiences and you're learning about yourself and you're trying to grow, and I feel like one experience leads to the next, like whether you have an energy healing session and then the next thing is maybe you do a QHHT and you learn more. And also talking about like the past life regression. Is it just a parallel life too sometimes? I mean, is it, because that's also something that you learn about. As you learn that there's more, then there's more and more and more.
That's one of the things that came up out of the other conversation that we were having about things that you used to truly believe that now, and it's kind of like I waffle back and forth in things of like when you talk about quote unquote past life or you talk about quote unquote this, but then there's also this part of me that is kind of in the camp of it all happens together all at once, all at the same time. So it's not really past. And it's not that belief that I had isn't untrue just because I've learned more. It's all true at the same time, all happening at the same time. So it becomes a little bit of like messing with your mind when you try to look at it from a human being perspective, because it kind of all doesn't make sense anymore when it's almost like you can't nail it down because it keeps
changing.
Keeps circling and spiraling in your mind.
Yeah, and I think Lynn and I had that conversation last weekend whenever I went to visit my friend, that we were talking about menopause brain. It just hit.
That's 4 other episodes, right?
Lord have mercy. What was I going to say, Lynn? Oh, we were talking about...
And you were talking
about it. Wait for it. It's going to pop back in.
She had it. She lost it. She had it.
She lost it
again.
Knowledge will do that to you.
Oh, God. But we were talking about, Jesus Christ, I can't remember what I was going to say now. Do you know what I was going to say? Can you read my mind, please?
As your monk guide said to me, have I ever been in your brain?
Right.
And did I want to be? So, no.
No.
We were talking about how the belief systems change. And at current, I cannot remember.
Oh, based on our experiences that we've had in life kind of creates our belief system. And Lynn and I were talking about, she believes she's a sovereign being, so nothing can affect her. And that's, to me, feels like a very set view, which is fine. It's nothing wrong with that. But I grew up in a household where it was everything around the religion was a very set view. So to me, it's like I can't say that anything is true or not true, because then it feels like I'm going into that same mindset that I grew up in around the religion and what is truth. And then anything that isn't that is not truth. And I just feel like there's so much that I don't know.
I think so too, but I also think that because it's my truth, it doesn't make it your truth. And so when I say to someone, oh, like, yeah, I do believe that I'm a sovereign being, that's just my truth. I don't let that affect how I think about other people, because I think other people are on their own timeline.
Right.
Yeah.
And you could very well change your attitude or your idea about that in another 10 years based on what happens between now and then.
Right. And we're talking about the past life stuff. I did not believe in past lives for a long time because I grew up in a household where reincarnation was frowned upon deeply. And so that's one of my big beliefs that has changed.
Well, and that feeds into what I was talking about. Can argue either side of it, because, well, if everything really is happening all at once, all at the same time, they're actually not past lives, and past lives don't exist.
Right.
It's just a separate dimension of experience that you're
parallel lives.
So I can argue, do I believe in past lives? Well, if I want to call them that, then yes, but I can also make an argument for past lives may not exist because it may be happening all. So it's kind of like I'm in this space where it's like the more I think I know, the more I'm aware of what I don't know.
Well, for me, when I talk about past lives and when I quote unquote see past lives, I call it that because of the timeline that I'm aware of right now, where we have cars. And when I see a past life that, or another life where they didn't have cars, I call that past because it's in an earlier time frame.
We use it almost like an adjective of the human construct of time, rather than necessarily it being something that you lived, died in, doesn't exist anymore, moved to the next.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And you were talking about of it being a very set view to say, I believe in past lives. Well,
Mm-hmm.
I do and I don't.
Yes and no.
So that's a great example of exactly what the feeling that I've been having and what I'm talking about.
And both can be true at the same time.
Right.
I had
And most likely are.
Right.
Most likely are.
I had a client this week, and on my way to the office to do her session, we were doing an energy healing session. This woman came in who was like a little old Spanish lady. And I thought, okay, I don't know what she's doing in the car with me right now, but we're going to see if she shows up at the office. And sure enough, she comes in. So this woman, it was the first time she'd had any energy work done. I was like, how do you feel about past lives? And she was like, I don't know. I have a friend who talks about them. So it was a new concept for her, or something she hadn't really put a lot of thought into. And so during the session, she had 4 different people there, beings, energies. And I believe they were all aspects of her in different timelines. Because one was a little girl. Then there was the old Spanish lady. Oh, maybe it was just 3. And then there was a man. And I don't know what they were doing there because they wouldn't talk to me, except for the Spanish lady. She talked to me, and she was making a big thing of paella out in like a field or a hillside with this like little lean-to shed that she was cooking in. And she was showing me making like this flatbread. It might have been tortillas. I don't know. In like a stone heated oven kind of thing. And she was talking about nourishment. That's what she was doing. She was going to nourish the family when they came back in to eat. And the message for her, for the client, was, are you nourishing yourself right now? And she has not been. So the woman was coming in as an aspect of her to say, you need to nourish
This
yourself.
used to be very important to you. Why are you not?
Yeah. And not necessarily the cooking, but the concept of nourishing yourself. So it's really interesting.
So we could also say about, I wish we were on screen because I keep doing air quotes. So just so you know, air quotes, past lives. Because when we do like QHHT, everybody in here's had one, including myself, and you go through that death process, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we could also say, oh, it's a past life because you've already lived it, even if it's on a parallel timeline.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we are all trained to think, how can I remember this if it is not in my past?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just that you're tapping in to a different timeline. So we could start calling it past timelines. Or not past timelines, but what do I want to call it?
I don't know.
Everybody's looking at me.
Timeline jump?
We could call a timeline jump, or that's a timeline that existed.
Well, and I don't want to say I don't want to say alternate, because that kind of makes me feel like it was either or.
Right.
And it's not alternate. It's, I guess, parallel is the only word that's coming to me, that is because
it's one of my timelines.
Right.
Right.
And it doesn't erase the current one by any means.
Right.
An alternate, I think, kind of gives that impression.
Yes.
Like you've made a choice. No, it's all existing simultaneously.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Yes.
Yeah.
I tried to sit through that movie. I couldn't. I might give it another shot.
I loved that movie.
Really?
I did.
I'll give it another
It
shot.
took me a minute to get into it, but once I got into it,
Okay.
it was really interesting. But that's my current belief,
Mm-hmm.
is that we have a lot of different timelines going on at the same time. And maybe we have already died on one of them, but we still exist, if
Right.
that makes sense.
That
Some weird shit.
It is some weird shit to think about, because, like, if you think we're existing on different timelines at the same time, and if we die or don't die, but we're existing on another timeline, how do we tap into that portion of that person's energy when we're doing mediumship readings? Do you just pick up their
energy,
the frequency of that soul during that time?
during that period.
Yeah, I think so.
And two, if we want to like mess with our brains even more, if energy is never created and never dies, just because we've experienced a physical death, there was no ending.
Right.
You never died. There was no finality to it. It was just that energy from that one particular experience changed shape, frequency,
Yes.
Mhm.
and went on to a different experience. So it's even though that kind of comes back and begs the question. I don't know that past life is still the most accurate term, because it was just, we've had this experience of birth, of a series of events and a physical death, but that energy never...
It doesn't die.
So
it just reforms.
Right.
Man, y'all.
In my opinion.
Mind blown emoji.
Yeah. I think it'll be really interesting when
it keeps...
This is the kind of conversations I love.
Yeah.
That you can't have with just anyone.
Right.
That's why I love you guys so much.
But then they look at you.
But then they look at you like the Cyclops with the one eyeball in the middle of your forehead.
Well, Lynn has had a dream about me having one eye on my third eye, a Cyclops.
I said,
Brenda.
Brenda, why are you a Cyclops? And she said, girl, I don't know.
Yes, good as mine.
So right now, Brenda is both a Cyclops and not a Cyclops all at once.
All at once, everywhere else.
She's a Cyclops on a different timeline.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be wild.
Okay, so speaking of timelines, I was just telling Brenda about this earlier, I have also been having this experience recently, and I'm having a hard time deciding for myself, is it a timeline shift? Is it just like I've stay in a state of being so oblivious that I just don't notice things, or what's going on? Because for the past couple of weeks, I've noticed in our backyard, it seems to be shaded all through the day. And we've lived there for almost 7 years. I have never noticed the backyard being 80% shaded at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Right. So as I'm noticing these differences of like, so did my frequency shift timelines and I'm kind of on a different version of the timeline, and that's why things look quote unquote different? Is it just that the leaves have grown larger than they normally do at this time of year, and the angle of the sun is still low enough that it's coming through areas that are more solid than normal, so that's why it looks more quote unquote shaded? It's like I'm trying to figure out, or is it's always looked like this in early April and you just have never paid enough attention to notice it? Because
who knows?
Right?
Because hadn't you ever been into a place 1,000 times and all of a sudden you walk in and you like, I have never noticed that.
And that's exactly what it feels like when I'm walking around my backyard. Is like, this is not, I want to say right, but it's like, this is different. There's something here that's different than normal is how it feels.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you just traded timelines. I mean, there's some weird shit that goes on this planet.
Yeah. And they've also been talking about the Schumann resonance and with all that energy that we've had coming in and like these blackout spaces that they think that we're timeline jumping. So, I mean,
or maybe it's just like a frequency shift so that you're noticing things that you don't normally know. Like, it's not like necessarily that it's a quote unquote different timeline, but that just like maybe you're aware of a frequency that you've never necessarily been aware of, and that's causing your perception to be altered in some way. I don't know. I'm just saying shit don't feel right, y'all.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's mundane stuff like the backyard feeling too shady all of a sudden. Like, it's not like life altering things. It's like things that are like, something here doesn't make sense.
I've had those experiences, definitely. And it will typically involve people for me, like going into someone's birthday party with your family, and you've been to 20 of these, and you know everyone the way that you know them. And sometimes you will walk into that room, and these people you've known all your life, you see different things in them. And it's like, who put these glasses on me? Sometimes you'll walk into a crowd or a bar or a restaurant or a place you've been 20 times, and everything is just turned completely upside down because you're noticing little things that really make no sense and are probably not even worth talking about, but it's all different and it feels different. And I always know I'm having that experience because I will get slightly nauseous when that happens. And I've always taken that as a personal cue of, okay, it's a light bulb moment. Now I can say you're probably jumping timelines, or that's just a physical reaction my body gets when I'm meant to notice something different here. It's very jarring.
That's really interesting. I immediately went back to that restaurant that we were in Pennsylvania, the weird restaurant.
Yes.
It's like,
I have dreams about that place. I do. I dream about that restaurant.
And we've never been there before.
That was the
But
weird.
it was wild.
weird.
That was weird.
Yeah.
So, what are your dreams like about?
No, I just see the inside of that space in the dream. It's like, it's not necessarily the people there, but you know how it was, I had like the big high ceilings and like the windows up at the top, up at the top. Like I see places that look like that. And
I wasn't right in that place.
Yeah.
And I wake up going, oh, that looked like that crazy ass restaurant.
It's like the whole experience inside that building, that restaurant was staged for us.
Yeah. It
It's-
was really weird.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was just a big old synchronicity.
Right.
Like right place, right time. Like this is all, but I don't know.
There was some
still weird.
soulless people in that place. There
It
was
was
some
off.
people that just were,
It was robotic. Almost.
yes,
Mhm.
yes.
It didn't feel right.
No, it did not. And-
Whatever was going on in there wasn't right.
But it didn't feel spooky or scary. It just felt off. The
Well,
whole thing just
It's
felt
like being
off.
a character
Yes,
in a play.
right.
Mhm.
And I kind of almost, and again, not in a really bad way, but I kind of felt like this place wasn't meant for us. Like we had wandered into a place that was,
On another timeline.
well, just not in alignment with us. Like we were almost kind of like not, I don't want to say not meant to be there, but not supposed to be there. Like it was just not a place that was meant for. It was, I don't know. It was strange. It was high strangeness.
It made me think of, I know you guys have all heard similar stories, probably in a little spooky book or something like that, to where a man will talk about, yeah, I was riding out on this unfamiliar road and I stopped at this little gas station cafe and things seemed a little bit off, but whatever. I got my food. I got my gas. I went along. The next day he drives by the same spot and
it's
there's
not
nothing there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that to me is just another perfect example of do. How do you label it?
I don't know. And we had just come in off of being out at the Falling Waters house and having such a experience out there with,
Visceral experience.
yeah, with the lady of the house. And then she came back in the car with us. So I don't know. It was just a weird trip overall.
Yeah,
was.
it really was.
Yeah.
And when I think about that now, it feels almost like slow motion,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good description.
right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Like being in the restaurant or that trip.
The whole trip.
Yeah.
Yes.
feels like when I look back at it, I'm like, man, that was in some serious slow mo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's almost
So-
it's almost like every single thing that you did, you had a second to contemplate it as it was happening.
Yeah, it was weird.
It was weird.
It was a fun trip.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but it was odd.
High strangeness.
That's a good word, Brenda. That's a good 2 words, high strangeness.
And
I think somebody else used that. Did you use that?
I said it.
Okay.
I was talking about the restaurant that was full of high strangeness.
Oh, yes.
My other Gemini.
Yeah.
Gemini over here.
Of course it was. But the other thing was that for me, looking back on the time we spent in that cemetery,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
felt like hours.
Mm.
Like
Yeah.
now that I look back on, I know we weren't, but looking like just the memory of it, it felt like we were there forever.
Yeah.
And
I
that-
probably was there maybe 20 to 30
Maybe.
minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
And
Before the man came
Before-
to see what we were
see
doing.
what
Yeah.
we were doing.
I'm trying to talk to the ghost.
Well, and here's the really strange part is to me, it feels like we were there forever, but it also in my body feels like there's portions of it I don't remember.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's hard to explain, but it's like when I look back on it, I do feel like there's memories I should have that I don't.
I wonder if there's like a lot of portal energy up there or some kind of weird energy just in the general area that we were in because it was out in the countryside. And I mean,
Well,
the
maybe-
energy at the house that we stayed
Maybe
in
that's
was
why.
weird.
Maybe that's why Frank Lloyd Wright was drawn to build that house there
Maybe.
energetically.
Mm-hmm.
But didn't when we get there, the trees hadn't really turned color yet. And then
Yes.
the next morning we got
Yeah.
up and everything had changed color.
Mm-hmm.
That was weird too. Because that
Well,
was like
And two, the birds acted
the birds were
strange.
acting weird too.
like they
were
would,
all on that.
and they were all across the road on the other side on the wire, but they would come and leave and come back.
They were
And,
bluebirds.
and they were
Mhm.
all bluebird. It was,
Like spies,
yes.
little birdie drones spying.
Oh, my,
Don't go there, girl.
getting
Sorry.
chill bumps.
Another episode right there.
But yeah, there was just a ton of strange things that it was more than just like synchronicity stuff. It was like and especially looking back on it, like when you're in the moment of it, it's like we're all together and we're having fun and da 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 da. But when you look back and you look at the point of your pen and start writing down the strange kind of creepy things that happened, it was a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Can we go back?
Yeah. And I always keep this in mind as well. And I will say this about our trip to Falling Water as well as the Trans-Allegheny trip. When you have places like this, not only is there massive energy there all the time, but all the tourists, just like us, coming in and out from all different places, add to that pot, that roux, that flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And surely that's a lot of what we pick up on as well.
Yeah, possibly. But I mean, out in the area that we were staying in, there was not much going on out there except for the cemetery. So, I don't know.
But in an odd synchronicity, so where we stayed in Pennsylvania for Falling Water, we could see a cemetery out in the backyard.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We could also see a cemetery out of the back window in the hotel that we stayed at.
That's
Trans-Allegheny.
right.
Oh,
In
good
West Virginia.
point. Yeah.
That's
Girl.
interesting.
I hadn't even thought about that.
That's very interesting. I had not thought about that either.
Sorry.
And we could see those little
We
cemeteries
see it
from where we were staying.
From our room, from mine and Chandra's room,
Mhm.
we could look out and see that cemetery.
Up there in West Virginia.
So you saved that golden nugget for the end of our episode, Sandra.
It just occurred. I mean, it just now occurred to me.
And we had that spirit coming in our room, mine
We
and
did.
Chandra's room. It
Mhm.
was blinking the light until Brenda and Cam came in, and then it stopped.
Cops are here.
Yeah.
Everyone chill.
Yeah, he was telling us about ourselves
Yeah.
for a minute.
Yeah, that's some interesting stuff.
High strangeness, indeed. I love it.
Me too.
That should probably be the name of this episode.
I know. I was getting ready
High
to say
strangeness.
timeline jumps and high strangeness.
I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Oh, this was a fun conversation.
It was.
I love talking about
High strangeness.
high strangeness.
I do too. Well, I hope everybody is experiencing some high strangeness in their life because I feel like that's like the juice of life and I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we love you guys. Remember to take good care of yourself, love yourself, and love each other. Peace out.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Thank you for joining us today. Please follow and subscribe to our podcast on Apple, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and leave a review. It's so easy to do and such a huge help for us. We appreciate your interactions so much. Want to join us at our table? Make sure to check out our YouTube channel and join our Facebook community. If you've enjoyed this content and wish to support us, take a look at our Patreon page. All information and links will be in our podcast description. Catch you next time.
This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM, women's voices amplified.